Here we have another episode of when that new discovery of an old album becomes a new favorite, right? This is the show we started a couple weeks ago where I'll be looking at albums from maybe a long time ago or maybe not all that long ago, but for whatever reason, I never explored the albums when they first came out or shortly thereafter, or in many instances, many years afterwards. And somehow I got a push from a friend, from a colleague, from a relative, or maybe I just, got a recommendation online from YouTube or Amazon or whatever. And I said, oh, yeah, that album, that band. Yeah, I never listened to them. Maybe I should start now. Maybe I'll start with that album that's being recommended to me. And all of a sudden, you check out the album and you're like, oh, I love this. Where's this album been all my life? It's been there, ready and waiting, right? So for today, I'm going to talk about an album that was heavily recommended to me by my good friend Chad Hutchinson, of course, colleague here on the channel, old friend from Nearfest, and one of the Mr. Prague Seat guys, right? He hasn't been on Prague Seat much of late, but he's been a veteran of in the Prague Seat, and every now and then he and I will talk about like Canadian rock because he loves Canadian bands. And he's like, Pete, how about Honeymoon Suite? Have you ever listened to 1986's The Big Prize? And I was always like, Chad, I know that name very well, but I've never listened to Honeymoon Suite. I've never owned any of their albums. I don't even know if I remember any of their songs. And he's like, you probably remember at least one, maybe two of them, right? So he said, try a New Girl, and certainly try Feel It Again. You'll remember those songs. I was like, oh, yeah. So I went and played New Girl. I got a new girl now. I'm like, oh, yeah, I like that song. That was good. Yeah, I remember when that came out. And then we listened to Feel It Again. And I was like, oh, yeah, that song. It's like, I remember kind of really digging that song, but like then quickly moving on to other things. And I listened to it again. And I listened to it again, and I took Chad's advice, and I just went out and bought The Big Prize, because we talked about, so if you like that, maybe you might want to do a ranking the album show on Honeymoon Suite, because they don't have a lot of albums, and I got this, and I really liked it, and I grew to really love it, and Feel It Again actually became like my anthem this summer. In 2025, because I bought this, back in the spring, I guess it was, or late winter, early spring. And I listened to Feel It Again all summer long, especially at the gym and especially in my car. There were days where I'd be driving, I'd have some errands to run, or I'd be going somewhere fairly local, but I would need to be in the car for 15, 20 minutes. And I'd pop this on, of course, on my little flash drive. Don't have a CD player in the car anymore. And Feel It Again would come on, and I'd be cranking it, and I'd be singing it. And it would be over, and I'd hit it rewind, I'd play it again, and I'd play it again, and I'd play it again. I did it at the gym numerous times, and I'd be cranking out to Bad Attitude, and, Lost and Found is great. And I love Wounded. I love Wounded almost as much as Feel It Again. And this album is filled with those just great, memorable, like AOR melodic rock songs. I kind of get a similar, when I'm trying to describe like Honeymoon Suite, like what they are. And I'm like, well, there's elements of, there's certainly some hard rock songs. They do a little bit of the kind of like hair pop metal, so to speak. There's definitely some new wave leanings on some of their stuff. There's definitely some pop. Kind of like, it's kind of like Loverboy, right? I think Honeymoon Suite are like kind of like Canada's, well, I shouldn't say Canada's answer to Loverboy, because Loverboy are Canadian too. But they're kind of similar to that. They're kind of hard rock, but they're melodic rock and pop all rolled into one. Just fun music. And this album is just filled with really, really good stuff. Produced by Bruce Fairbairn, right? Great production on this album. Arguably the best production on any album they have was released on Warner Brothers Records, right? And the singles released, Bad Attitude was a single, Feel It Again, What Does It Take, All Along You Knew. All these were released as singles, and this was their, biggest selling album. Made it to number 61 here on the Billboard charts. In Canada, it was number 7. 3 times platinum in Canada. I don't think it quite made gold here, which is a shame, because I think this album has that kind of it factor to it. has the it factor to it. But really good. The band, of course, Johnny D on lead vocals, Derry Grehan on guitars and vocals, Ray Coburn on keyboards, Gary Lalonde on bass, and David Betts on drums. And in fact, Ian Anderson, yes, that Ian Anderson from Jethro Tull, plays flute on All Along You Knew, which is kind of cool, right? Which is the 8th track on here. But yeah, it's all good. I mean, Bad Attitude is great. Feel It Again is great. Lost and Found, the first 3 tracks are really good. Lost and Found is kind of like this new wavy pop thing, like something that you would expect to hear on like the Breakfast Club soundtrack or something like that. What Does It Take is more of a ballad. There are a couple ballads on here. One by One is great. Like I said, I love Wounded. Words in the Wind is great. All Along You Knew is a terrific, terrific track. Once the Feeling is really good. And Take My Hand, that's another more like ballady type track. But all really good. They kind of have this look. They don't really look like a metal band, right? But they got that kind of rocker look to them. Really good album. Very enjoyable album. Big production. Just one very memorable song after another. And, you know, when I'm in the mood, kind of like feel good, melodic rock with big soaring choruses and crunchy guitars. Really good lead guitar on here too, and just amazing choruses. Doesn't get much better than The Big Prize from Honeymoon Suite. Yeah, they have other really good albums too, but this, Chad was right, this is their best album. And like I said, Feel It Again for me is one of the great songs of the 80s that I was as guilty as anybody else for completely forgetting about. And in fact, I just I listened to this album so much during the summer that I've taken a little break from it. But just before I recorded this episode, I went and played it all again. And I'm like, and Feel It Again came on. And I'm like, oh, there we go. Again. And I played it again. It's like I can't listen to Feel It Again without listening to it 2 or 3 times in a row. It's like I love it so much that when it plays, I want more. And I go right back. It's that good. It's that good. I mean, that chorus is just amazing. It's so cleverly done. The backing vocals are terrific. The guitar solo is great. It's just amazing stuff. So yeah, that is my little album for today that I discovered way late, but has become an absolute favorite. I do want to thank Chad Hutchinson for turning me on to this. I will forever be in your debt, my friend Chad. So let us know what you think of Honeymoon Suite, The Big Prize, down in the comments below. I mean, we did just do a Ranking the Album show not all that long ago, like 2 months ago here. So I think for some of you, Honeymoon Suite is still kind of fresh on the brain. They did just release a new album fairly recently, so we've talked a bit of Honeymoon Suite on the channel. But it's always good to reminisce about these great albums from yesteryear that we're just discovering late, but better late than never, I always say. So there you have it. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as a post. And please hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, I got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, our Cameo page, and the Sea of Tranquility membership options are all down there. Down below me, floating around down there in the video description. Thanks to everybody for your support. For those who do so, it's greatly appreciated. And we'll see you soon here with more stuff. I am Pete Pardo. Take care. Bye-bye.